I think Glenn Greenwald said it best recently when he said the anti-war Democrat, so-called anti-war Democrat left is dead. For an anti-war Democrat who is worried about the deficit and the national debt, parquet teeth Bernie Sanders sure loves himself some deficit spending, or some defense spending, which does lead to deficit spending. This does remind me. I got to harken back to one thing. You remember when they were worried about, oh, Donald Trump is going to go to war with Iran. He's gonna bomb Iran. We can't do that. You can't do that without Congress. So Bernie raced to the cameras, and his yellow teeth were flapping up and down about how I'm going to have legislation to make sure Donald Trump doesn't attack Iran. But when Obama went into Syria, without congressional authorization, did Bernie run to that? Oh, no, he didn't. When Obama went to Libya, no. Okay. All this crap going to Ukraine where we're trying to start World War III. Hey, Bernie's all in favor of that, too. So, man, and Bernie Sanders, this is another aside. He used to be, I used to consider him just an idiot, but he wasn't a liar. He also, at one time, his views evolved. This is what people like Stan, the divorcee Stan Cedar, say, oh, his views evolved. I guess, Stan, your wife's views evolved on being married to you, too. Well, Bernie used to be against illegal immigration because it was going to put poor, low-educated people out of work. Well, he doesn't care now because that's more votes. So Bernie is a creature of the swamp completely and totally. He's always been an idiot who's never had a real job. He never made it in the private sector. Think about that. I have put more payroll hours in before I was 30 than yellow teeth Bernie Sanders has in his entire life. He's a loser. He really is. But let's get to, here are the appropriate levels of new budget authority and outlays for fiscal years 2022 through 2031 for national defense in the legislation sponsored by parquet teeth Bernie Sanders. And this is going to be uncomfortable for the divorcee Stan Cedar. Not quite as uncomfortable as the day his wife said, you're going to live somewhere else and we're both going to see other people, but it will be uncomfortable. Not as much as sitting on a bicycle without the seat, but it will hurt, Stan. This is for national defense. New budget authority, over $765 billion. Outlays, $764 billion. Fiscal year 23, new budget authority, $782 billion. Outlays, $770 billion. 2024 fiscal year. New budget authority, almost $800 trillion. Outlays, $799 billion. Did I say trillion? Oh, now we're talking real money. Outlays over $776 billion. 2025, new budget authority over $817 billion. Outlays $795 billion. Fiscal year 26, new budget authority $835 billion. Outlays $810 billion. New budget authority fiscal year 27, $844 billion. Outlays $822 billion. Fiscal year 28, $852.5 billion. Outlays $836.5 billion. Fiscal year 2029, budget authority $861 billion. Outlays $834.5 billion. Fiscal year 2030, new budget authority $870 billion. Outlays almost $849 billion. Fiscal year 2031, budget authority $880 billion. Outlays $859 billion. I'll have the entire transcript will be posted at Rumble. I'll leave some more links down there, and you can see what's our coming fiscal calamity is going to be. I wonder what a lot of these people who don't want to put the brakes on any spending. I'm actually kind of hoping that what hits the fan at some point, and the shelves are empty for 3 months, because I would be all right. Well, I'm not saying I'd be comfortable, but I'd be all right. It'll be interesting. I kind of hope that does happen, just to give people a wake-up call. When you waddle your fat ass, when the guy, people like Stan who don't have a real job and just sit on their fat ass all day on the internet, what are you going to do when you waddle your fat ass down to the store and there's no Twinkies on the shelf? There's no Spam, there's no fruits, there's no vegetables, There's no kale, no lettuce, no cabbage, no nothing. What are you going to do? I kind of hope that happens. I'd love to see the look of horror on your face. So we are coming to a fiscal calamity. I'll leave some links down there where I've examined this in detail. There's hours and hours and hours of information there for you. It should scare you. Hopefully it will also educate you. We're in big trouble. So what we need to do is what I said. I actually said it independently of Rand Paul. You don't have to believe it. We need to bring we need to bring spending back to pre-pandemic levels, fiscal year 2019. Rand Paul suggested this too. And there's some things you can do with that. We can say, well, we can freeze spending until we start paying off the national debt. I'm all right with 1%. We'll take fiscal spending that back to fiscal year 2019 levels, and the budget grows at 1% each year. Congress can spend it on whatever they want. But when you hit a certain level, you're done. And it will only rise at 1% until we start paying off the national debt. And I'd say, why don't we'll keep doing that until we get the national debt back down to what it was when Bill Clinton left office. Because Bill Clinton was great, wasn't he, in that Republican Congress? So it will only grow at 1% until we get the national debt down to the exact level. We won't even adjust for inflation. Whatever the national debt was, and I'm not going to look it up, I don't know what it is right now, but it's a heck of a lot less. It can grow at more than 1% when we get it down to what it was the day, or the fiscal year, the last full fiscal year of Slick Willie Clinton. Have a nice day, and don't thank me now for the sobering information.